my numbers for me. The first thing we're going to do, let's go in here and change our wood type. And we're going to go with a stripe wood, I think. I'm going to fill this up with stripe wood. I'm going to do a control copy, control paste. Like so. I might be totally off on where I place this, but we'll play with it. Boom. Yeah, I'm off just by 1 voxel. That's not too bad. But I'll just do like 3 faces of this wall, and that way you can actually see how to put all these pieces together here. So we got a 3 voxel thick wall. It is 17 voxels high. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to manipulate this just a little bit. Yeah. So we're going to manipulate this wall just slightly so we can make this thing look like a log cabin. Now, what we're going to do here is I don't want a... well, okay, let me back up. If you want a deep inset for your curvature of your logs like this, you're going to want a smaller voxel to replace into the actual wood, and that's kind of how we're going about this approach. So let's go with something about this size, and this is the 5th one down on the voxel board. You can also create this one by hitting a single voxel by tapping it twice with your smooth tool, and that should pretty much get you where you need to be on it. So what I'm going to do is basically go in a straight line all the way across this bottom first. And this is going to be the starting point for the first log, and we can pretty much go all the way down. This is going to be kind of granular, or it's not even granular, coarse grained type of tutorial here. It's going to take a little bit of time just to get this kind of the ball rolling on this. But once we have the first little set completed, we can duplicate it pretty much over and over again to fill up the rest of the spacing, or fill up the rest of the gaps that I'm kind of going for here. So, but this is basically how we're going to fill these, or round off the shape for our logs. We can kind of just go down the line all the way from one end to the other. And if this thing was literally, you know, all the way square all the way around, you'd have this pretty much all the way around the bottom face of it. Alright, I've kind of lost my mouse pointer. There it is. Roll my mouse until I get it back. I'm just going to start skipping every other one. What the heck is that? Why is it ripping my stuff? Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. Tapped it a few times and it cleared up this little ripping effect that it looked like I was getting. So we're going to come along that whole entire edge all the way down until we get to the very end, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in this last one, and I'll duplicate what we've already created here. I'll Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and I will bring it down as far as I can, like so, and then I'm going to push it into that space. We'll fill in the whole entire area. And now that I've already got my corners pretty much set, I can pretty much rotate this to where I need it. and fill in the rest of the gap. I swear this is acting like a fool today. It's cutting up little rips. So that's the first little section here. Now what I want to do here next is I'm going to go ahead and put in a marker so that I know where my little corner pieces and all that is going to be located. I copied this corner bottom one down here, and I'm going to bring it down to the floor, and I should have a 1, 2, 3, and then this one goes in. And that's where I want that next section to be. Now I can just copy this bottom one, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and basically that's going to give me like an eyeball point that I can actually see visually where I can drop this in. And I can select this next section here. Oops, grabbed the wrong tool, sorry about that. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and we're going to rinse and repeat this all the way down. And now that's basically how we're going to end up creating the first log in our little log cabin here. It's a very simple technique to being able to get that grout look for a log cabin. And you can use a variety of different materials while you're doing this. You can either use, like I have here, which is stucco, or we can go with this right here, which would probably look a little bit more natural, which is the plastered wall. And if I select this area here, and actually let's go ahead and do that. Let's because I don't want this to be any log cabin. It's going to be the log cabin. So the log cabin would be all the way inside and out on this. So there we go. That's a little bit more realistic. It gives a little bit more darker tone to it. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to mark this off here so that I can actually have a visual marker. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. So I'm literally jumping between 3. This is a grout, this is a grout, this is a grout. This would be a piece of wood. And let's grab this outside corner. We'll grab the whole entire thing. Oh man. Awesome. Shoulder Cat just messaged me and said she's doing a 0 volume voxel tutorial today, so that's going to be very freaking interesting. But okay, now that we have this pretty much set in stone here, let me go ahead and paint this last one that I missed apparently. And I'm going to grab, let's see, hold on a second. I need to go back 2 voxels. So that's 1, 2, that's 3. There we go. That's where I need to be. I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to go on the inside, paste. Let's bring that on the inside face here. Hit V to mirror it, just so we don't have a screwed up voxel in the process. And we're going to paste that one right there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. V to mirror it. Let's push that one in as well. I think it needs to go up 1. There we go. And this way we're actually getting that that shaping not only on the the outside of my cabin, but also on the inside. So next thing over here, I need to go in 3. And we'll go all the way down to here. Control copy and do the one on the inside here. V. Let's bring this in. V the mirror it just to make sure that it's going to react correctly. Sit it in and paste. Now, as you can tell, we're getting this like curvature look to it. And like I said, the smaller your voxel or your microvoxel that you put in there, pretty much the better. And you can also probably reduce that angle just slightly just by playing with it just a little bit. There's several different ways of making it. This is like, to me, a quick and expedient way to do it. I'll show you another way to actually do the same type of process. It's a little bit more time consuming, but you'll get a similar type of an effect. And I'll do that after I complete this one. So let's get this thing in there. We'll drop this back. We'll paste. 2, 3. Make sure I'm in the right place here. Oh, need to go up 1. Let's drop that one in. And we'll take one all the way to the top. So we get this like log cabin looking type feel to this, and like I said, it's not only the outside but it's also the inside, so you can sit there and kind of play around with it just a tad just to see what it kind of comes up with. And you can tell I missed some of my outside voxels here or on this other side, so let's go ahead and grab this. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and we can just copy this over from the opposite end and we'll paste that in. Now that's one way to accomplish the log cabin feel to it. Now this is another one. I'm going to do this one fairly quickly. So, but this one is a 4 voxel thick. This time I'm going with a 4 voxel thick. Let's bring this up and go ahead and fill it up with our wood. And this one I'm going to start here, and I'm basically going to go the same thing. 1, 2, 3, go down to the next one, which would be 1, and continue on down. It's 2, 3, and that'd be 1. So you get a texture that looks like this, and we basically need to duplicate that on the opposing face as well. So copy, V, bring that down, V to mirror, and let's go ahead and get that into place as well. I like doing it the first way because I don't know, to me it looks more realistic. But you can come in here like this and make sure that you have this 2 voxel thickness right here and right here between your various different logs. Take your selection tool, grab that log section, hit your smooth tool on it, and we can take this one and do the same thing and smooth that one. So you've got this type of a kind of a technique kind of going on. You can take your paint tool, grab that, and now we want to paint that center voxel. Oops, overextended. But this is a different techniques, different ways of doing it. Find out what's best for you, and either way, you're never wrong. It's your build. It's whatever your imagination comes up with, and you can pretty much do the same thing on both sides. So if I take this one more time, and I can make a copy from this side, Control copy, Control paste, bring this down, mirror it, and bring it back to me and down. Paste. So there's a different approach.